him, the young novelist who's been doing wonders before. Trust me, he's speaking to so many teenagers these days.
The night with Tanmay and Avantika. As a rule, I never won those conversations. She is depressed. Something to do with Paratosh. You've got to do this for me.
It was only during the last year of my engineering and when I was preparing for my management exams to get into a college that somebody told me that if you have the word author in your CV, it will help you a lot. And that's when I started thinking that I might as well write a book. And I compiled all those blog posts together, and I thought, and I gave it a shape story, and which came out as Of Course I Love You. And I never really thought that the book will get published. I just sent it to a very small publisher and he accepted it within a week or two. The book came out, and it came out with a print run of about 1,000 books, and luckily it got picked up by readers. They started talking about it, and it worked. So that's how I started writing. I would really like to tell you a heart-wrenching story about my struggle to get published and then getting the other books published, but I don't have anything for you because I got accepted really early. So my first book came out when I was just 21, and I did not really have to struggle. I wrote the book, sent it to a publisher, and it got published. In fact, even after that, I never really wanted to pick up writing as full-time. It's just that the first book has sold so many copies that my publisher called me and told me that, Durjoy, you have to write another book. And I was like, I was studying at that point in time. I was like, dude, I don't have the time. And my publisher told me that, your first book has sold so many copies that even if you write blank pages and you get it published, it's still going to sell. So just send me anything. So that's why I wrote the second book, which I think is one of my worst books, because I really did not want to write because I really want to study and score marks. But I still wrote it because my publisher was after my life. So that's how the second book came out, and slowly it became an addiction, and I started writing more books.
Every writer in this world needs to have a backup plan. What was your backup plan, and have you used your backup plan anytime?
Actually, being a writer was my backup plan because I never thought that I'll be a writer. So I was a big nerd. So I studied a lot. I got into my engineering. My book had come out, but still I was like, you can't become an author like that. So I did my management also for 2 years. I worked in a couple of companies, and I thought, while writing is okay, you can't do that for a living. So and my parents were extremely happy with me because they were constantly scared that I'll hang my boots up and start writing full time. But I did not do that, and I did my education and got through a lot of entrance examinations and worked and tried my hand at things. It was only very late in the day that I sort of made that decision that I want to write full time.
You're doing so well in writing books as well as in television. So given a choice between television and writing books, what would you choose?
I would write books. Like television is okay, but books are the best.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, I'm Rohan Kapoor, a grade 10 student of Delhi Private School in Sharjah. Sir, I want to ask you a question. Your first two books, you co-authored them with Manvi Ahuja. And in your first book, it was more about your experiences in DTU, and the second book was more about her experiences in Hyderabad. So what do you enjoy writing more or editing more? Your own experiences or someone else's experiences? Do you like to polish them, and do you like to read through them and include them as a part of your own works?
I like writing about my own experiences more than editing other people's stuff because I'm very personal about my writing. So if somebody gives me a document and asks me to edit it, I'll probably end up rewriting it. So it becomes a very irritating process for me as well as my co-author. The same thing happened when I was writing Someone Like You with Nikita Singh, and she wrote the first draft, and when I read it, I was like, there's so many things I want to change in this. So it becomes a little harrowing process working with a co-author when the experiences of the co-author. So so the first book I enjoyed a lot more.
You've written lots of love stories. I mean, all of your books are love stories. What's your love story?
I for the longest period of time I kept falling in and out of love. So it's very so when I was in school I was in love with a girl for 6 years, and I couldn't tell her. So that was my first love story. So So yeah, and after that I've dated women and they have dumped me and I have dumped a few. So yeah, it has been an up and downhill experience as far as love is concerned. Thank you.
Sorry, just need to know about your participation in this.
Okay, it's a great honor and privilege to be here. I love it when I'm called to all these book fairs because books have been a great part of my life and I love being around books. So what better part than coming to a book fair so many miles away and I'm absolutely astounded to see all these people come up for a book fair. It's very heartening for me to see.
Yeah, about a new book. Could you tell us about, like a summary about it?
My new book will come out in January. It's a coming of age story of a girl, and she's 17 and she's going on 18. So what all things are going in her head? So it's after a couple of years that I'm writing from a girl's perspective. So I really enjoyed writing that book, and I really hope people like it as well. So yeah.
Okay, what about your upcoming talents and projects?
So I've started working on a few more television shows, and I've started working on a few screenplays for movies. So probably a film might come out next year. So we still have to see. It's too early to talk about it, but exciting things are going to come.
Okay, my question is as an engineer or as a writer?
A writer, any day. Engineering is way back, and now I don't want to be an engineer anymore. I just want to concentrate on my writing.
Okay, nice to meet you and good luck.
Thank you so much.